Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the man known as Snap Toxin, and the game running in the background is Battlefield 4. Now, I must warn you, this is not a live commentary. Okay, put the rotten fruit away, I have an explanation. The gameplay was recorded using the NVIDIA Shadowplay feature, and unfortunately it doesn't allow live recording at the time. But it's giving me an advantage because I need to do some stuff on here anyway. Anyway, to the point in question. The gun I'm using here is the CZ-3A1, a PDW unlocked exclusively for the engineer, and I'm here to explain to you why you should be burst firing with this gun instead of going full auto. Now, the CZ-3A1 has a rate of rounds per minute of 1,000, and that's pretty damn fast. I think the only other main weapon that matches it is the FAMAS, which is available to the assault only. And I think the G18 has an RPM of 1100. But anyway, that's not the point we're talking about here. See, with the CZ-3A1, an RPM of 1000, you're going to shoot you're going to shoot bullets down very quickly, and you're going to need that. However, with that speed, you're going to lose control of it very quickly if you just keep holding down the mouse button on full auto. So I decided, after spending some time with the FAMAS, I figured, why not see what it's like in burst fire mode and test it out that way to see if it adds a little bit of stability. And it turns out, yes, it did. See, with an RPM of 1000, you can pretty much burst fire it with 3-1 burst, click it as fast as you can, and you will gain so much more stability than just holding the mouse button down and hope for the best. Let's be honest. If you keep holding the button down, you're just going to lose control eventually, and this is a slow-mo bit that's just coming up right now just to highlight the point I'm talking about. Here we go. See how easy it is to control the bullets there and recoil? As long as you're firing 3 bullets at a time, it is just so bloody easy. Whereas having to try and trigger discipline yourself on full auto, it can be a little bit daunting, especially if you're the kind of person with an itchy trigger finger. It can't be helped. So, burst fire. Fire down 3 bullets at once, much more manageable recoil, simple as. Well, I wouldn't say simple as. If you're actually the kind of guy that's actually comfortable and very trigger disciplined to control your burst in full auto, by all means go for it. But I only offer the burst fire as an alternative. As you can see here, we got another slow-mo coming up, and there we go. 3 bullets down down range, easier control to deal with. It can be a case of personal preference, I'm not going to lie. As I tested this throughout the match, I just found it so much easier to control the handling of the CZ-3A1, and I didn't find myself in any situation where full auto was necessary. Right, attachments. These are kind of the important stuff you need to worry about when going for the burst fire method. Sights. This is personal preference to you. I'm running with the Cobra at the moment, but I honestly cannot stand that sight. It is my least favourite sight. I wouldn't go any higher than a reflex sight, than a 1x magnification sight though. So whether it be the Cobra, the reflex, the Coyote, which I highly recommend, take it. You're not going to do any better with that. Having a 3.4 or 4x magnification scope is somewhat pointless because you're really never going to get that kind of range down there. Speaking of range, this is the kind of distance where you really should not be firing, even at burst range. See how many shots I kept missing? You might have better luck if you're a more accurate person than I am, but I still would not recommend firing down range at that kind of distance. You need to get a little bit closer in, and it's just not worth it. Anyway, we've covered the sights. Barrel attachment. I would not recommend the compensator or muzzle brake at all. I mean, sure, you get a little bit of extra... this I need to highlight. If you click way too fast, you might let the muzzle climb get ahead of you, like that happened there. You don't want that to happen. So anyway, compensator and muzzle brake, I really would not recommend at all. You're going to be burst firing, so muzzle brake really is not worth it, and the drift... The pulls to the left and right, you're not really going to notice at all, especially if you're burst firing, so I would ignore that. I attached a silencer on here just to see what it would be like. Suppressor attachment is situational, so do that as you will. Apart from that, I would recommend just having the barrel completely untouched, or if you unlock it through the battle pack, a flash hider. That's it. Either of those two options. Anything else, you might be risking it. And see here, even with burst fire, you can still get a reasonable amount of hip fire control. You just got to make sure you time your moments right, because otherwise it might not happen. It might not go so well. Okay, so we've covered sights, we've covered the barrel, grip. Really, all you're really going to be wanting is the angled grip. You really want to control that first shot recoil, and the angled grip just does the job that for you. 33% reduction on the first shot recoil. You're going to need that, especially when you burst firing 3 shots in a row. It is essential, especially if you want to keep your shots under control. And the burst fire, might I add, is very good if you want to conserve your ammo. 1,000 rounds per minute, you're going to lose that ammo very quickly. Not recommended. Okay, final attachment, accessory. Pretty obvious, really. You're not going to want the magnifier because you're not going to be able to use the range. Pretty much sorts itself out, really. Canted iron sights, I would not recommend. Just go with a laser sight. If you end up in a situation where you have to hip fire, the laser sight is going to give you extra boost to that, and I think the PDW's quite good at hip firing anyway, so you're just going to boost your hip fire accuracy to a really good level. I hope this has been a good enough case to provide you whether or not you should use burst fire or not. If you do, use it. I highly recommend it. It is well worth the patience, and well, it's really worth using. Anyway, I am the man known as Snaptoxin, and hopefully I might have taught you guys something that could be useful in the near future. Take care.